Hi Barend, welkom hier by die Leeu's. Ek verstaan dit was jou eerste dag hier vandag. Hoe het dit gegaan?
Ja, baie goed gegaan. Ek dink soos ek vir die ouens sê, ek was maar vandag net 'n bietjie op die agtervoet gewees. Ek het nie regtig veel insette of so gelewer vandag nie. Dat die mense net 'n bietjie kyk wat is wat, die ouens begin leer ken, die sisteme begin leer ken. Ek was nou gelukkig, ons het daarom al die laaste paar weke was mense in verbinding met die ouens, maar vandag is fisies die eerste keer wat jy die ouens face-to-face ontmoet. So daar's 'n hele paar sisteme wat ons ooit moet op plek sit nog van die set piece point of view, maar ja, wat ek gesien het en die effort wat die ouens insit, baie goed gewees.
Ek en dit was daarom nie heeltemal almal onbekende gesigte nie. Daar's 'n paar spelers van Griek was veral wat vandag aangekondig is. Andrew, was jy bly om hom hier te sien?
Ja, hy het my actually so 2 dae terug toe sê hy vir my ek het eerlikwaar nie ek het geweet daar is die kans is dat hy gaan kom. So ek was baie bly. Ek ben persoonlik
Kom maar aan.
Persoonlik, ek dink hy was een van die beste spelers gewees by Griekwas oor die laaste 2-3 seisoene. So vir hom is ek baie bly. Ek dink hy het laas jaar sou hy sy geleentheid gekry het, toe skeer hy sy Achilles. Selfs met Johan Mulder, een van die mees onderskatte neges ek dink wat laas jaar en die jaar voor het in die Currie Cup gespeel het. So vir hulle geleentheid is ek baie bly en ja, soos ek sê, dis altyd lekker om daar 'n bekende gesig te sien as jy in 'n plek soos Johannesburg weer inloop so.
Jy moes tuis voel om weer by jou ou span te wees.
Ja, ek wil sê want die veld is dieselfde. Ons het al so baie keer hier geoefen. Daai tyd ons met die Cats hier geoefen het en met die Currie Cup ons het altyd hier geoefen en ja, ek moet sê dit het nog as memories teruggebring. Ek onthou as ons hier om die veld moes gehardloop het en al sulke goeie so. Nee, dit is lekker. Ek moet sê dis 'n spesiale stadion, Ellis Park en ek kan onthou van laas jaar toe ons die Currie Cup game hier gespeel het. Ek was in awe om net op te kyk na alles en te kyk na hoe groot dit actually is. So ja, dis regtig baie nice.
Okay,
Kan ek jou vra, wat het jy geleer nou by die World Cup? Het jy nuwe dinge raak gesien wat jy kan toepas?
Ek sal nie sê jy kyk maar by elke span wat hulle doen en hoe hulle die goeters doen, maar ek dink meer wat 'n mens geleer het is om goed eenvoudig te probeer hou. Ja, obviously hulle werk met die wêreld se beste spelers en ek dink ons is geneig en ek self kyk eers na myself is geneig altyd maar om te veel te probeer met die ouens waarmee mens werk. En ek dink dis miskien 'n les wat 'n mens geleer het. Ek dink dit gaan nie altyd perfek wees nie, want jy wil altyd iemand het eendag vir my gesê, wat soek jy as 'n coach? Toe sê hy, as 'n coach soek jy altyd meer tyd en ons het nie tyd nie. So vir die volgende week en 'n half, 2 weke gaan ons moet implementeer en alles so simpel as moontlik probeer hou.
Coach, you've obviously just come in now back from Namibia and stuff, and you've got there's a lot of talent here,
Yes.
a lot of raw talent, and they just seem to always just miss that final step in the season. How do you go about, and what philosophy will you bring to get them specifically up front, to get them over that mental bump that they're sitting with?
Look, I agree on that. I mean, and I can only talk about coaching against the Lions for the past 2 seasons, and I think what we always targeted against a team like the Lions, especially obviously when we play them in Kimberley, was always just trying to play a fast game. But I mean, when we play the Lions here, I mean that is something that we need to do now, and I must say that they've always been, if you talk physicality, pure physicality, that's always been one of my toughest games to play against the Lions because of their raw size of the guys and physicality. And I think what we have to install into those guys is that confidence of using that physicality in the right way at the right time. And I think maybe that's something that lacked last season. We maybe got into a scoring zone and we didn't, or something like that. So I think for whatever reason it might have been. So I think that is something that I would like to install. And again, I'm going back to simplicity, keeping it as simple as possible. And speaking to Cash and to all the other coaches is that they've got the same philosophy in that. So there's not going to be anything special. I think it's purely going to be how simple can we keep it, give them the right message at the right time, and I think it will be easier for them to implement them.
So keeping it simple, does that mean maybe discarding what has become the Lions brand of play, this attacking style, which can be overcomplicated sometimes?
Yeah.
Does that mean discarding that for the new season, or is there going to be still that DNA?
No, I think, look, you'll always have that DNA. Like we'll have as a big forwards pack, I mean, we would like to have a scrum DNA, a mauling DNA. That's what we want. And you can never take the running out of a Lions team. I don't think you should ever do that. What I mean by simplicity is keep the plan simple. When we get into a scoring zone, give them 2 options to sort of stuff that we train during the week. There must be 4 or 5 options for them to think about. Because and I remember as a player, all you want as a player is clarity. So whenever you're going to always play well if there's clarity in what you want, what the coaches give you. And I think that's more in terms of simplicity that I mean.
What has impressed you with so far? I know you haven't been here for long, but looking at the forward pack that you've got, what has impressed you the most about the Lions?
I think size-wise, that's something that wherever I've coached before, I've never worked with a sizable pack. And I said now to Julia, not so much in terms of length, but just physically, you can see the guys are well conditioned. And I think that's something that I immediately picked up. A guy like Zander, that was at the Greek, was at well. He was always there, one of the biggest guys. I mean, yeah, he looks like normal to the other guys. So that's something you pick up immediately when you walk into these guys.
We're going to go a bit more specific now. Asanati last season had a blinder.
Yeah.
How do you keep him motivated for another season? Because there's always this danger of a post-season dip, and the guy's not mentally or physically prepared for the season thereafter.
Yeah, 100%. Look, I think again, I agree on that. Last season, I mean, I even saw now in the scrum session now, he's on a 8v7. I mean, he was handling that pack on his own. So, and again, I'll have to start learning the guys, how they think, what they think about, all that sort of thing. So I think I can answer that question maybe better if I start knowing the guys a little bit better. But I mean, there's always a danger in a guy playing his second season. You used to call it second tweede seisoen syndrome. Yeah. So I think there's always a danger in that, but that's part of being professional. I mean, it's not really my job to keep him motivated. My job is to give him the system, help him to implement it. And I mean, his job as a professional player, he must look at certain stuff as well. So we can always assist on that, but like I said, I think I can answer that question better as soon as I know the guys better.
And then lastly for me, I think the one department at the Lions that they don't lack any skill or form or flair is the loose forwards.
Yeah, definitely.
Got a bunch of great loose forwards. I just spoke to Jason, and he says you guys have taken on a new type of conditioning approach. I mean, is that one of the I guess as the coach, you have to identify the areas that you guys have your strengths in. How do you take control of that loose pack and then get them to be almost the core, the heart of the team?
Definitely. Look, they're all athletes. That's what we want. You want a guy who can play 2 games in one day. So that's according to me what an athlete is. I mean, you look at any position, you don't get 150 kilogram locks anymore. You get athletes as locks. Same as the loosies. Our loosies should be able to cover lock if needed, all that sort of thing. So and again, from what I've seen now and what I've seen from last season, that is one department where there's a good stock of athletic players, and obviously, like you said, the brand that the Lions want to play, keep the ball in hand, but obviously make better decisions maybe when we keep the ball in hand and when not to keep the ball in hand. But I 100% agree. I think that's also a decision you have to go make game by game. So you'll see, listen, if we need this sort of play for this game or this sort of play for this game, I think we're going to need different players in different games because the season is so long, 2 competitions. But again, I agree, very, very good players.
Objectives?
Goals?
Goals? We want to be halfway through the season.
No, I think obviously that's stuff that we as a coaching team, and that's on myself included with all the other coaching team, we haven't had a chance to sit down and discuss all that stuff. And obviously I know all the other coaches have. We've just been away for how many months now. But again, looking at the players and looking at the way they look at the moment, I must say we'll be very sad if we don't come close to a playoffs this season, genuinely.
Thanks, coach.
Great stuff. Thanks.
Baie dankie.
Dankie julle.
Thanks, James.